So has anything happened in life, Kev?
Only work-related, not repeatable stuff I can't say on the internet.
How is work? Is it a bit calmer now because you were getting quiet?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, week before there was the exams happening, and that was a thing and running around. But yes, very much so.
That's
and
good.
It should be a roller coaster down. It should be fine. There will be a bottom of the roller coaster at the end of the year, but that's something else.
It's the way these things go, doesn't it? You sort of like you go up, and then you hit the top, and you're like and then you come down.
Yeah.
And then there's the hit the bottom.
Yeah, so the falling down is fine. It's the hitting the bottom is the problem.
Yeah.
Falling down is ace.
Yeah. Have you still got a massive wedge of cash in your phone? Or have you spent it all?
Because our heating broke on Thursday.
You said there was no stories, and here we go.
Well, I mean, if you rewind earlier in the week, there's a problem with the car. Well, I say there's a problem with the car. There was no problem with the car, but it came up with a thing. See, I've had a new car in the summer, and it's funny because it's exactly the same. It's supposed to be like everyone has this thing about car snobbery and the name of the car. Oh, it's the same as the other one, the small one. It's the same. It's that much wider either side. It's literally, I'm not exaggerating. And but it has, because it's a modern one, I assume the smaller one as well has a modern computer. And it said check coolant. And there's even a 3D picture of the car with the engine lit up. And I thought, oh, bloody hell. Check the coolant. There's plenty of coolant. So I thought, oh bloody hell, okay, my cash in the wallet is going to go. But they looked at it, they couldn't find anything wrong. This is Volkswagen garage, so they said, yeah, fine, free, no charge.
That's good.
But when we bought it, they only gave us 3 months guarantee, which I thought was terrible.
You bought that from a Volkswagen garage?
Yeah. So that might be why they must have thought, what do you give them 3 months? So that was good. So I kept my money, yes, and then Thursday morning, it's very cold in the house. Oh crap! We're very lucky. It's not as cold as it is in the US right now. It's like minus 40 in places, isn't it? But here it's 0. It's minus 6.
Yeah.
It's been between those temperatures, and so the house was cold, and it got colder and colder and colder. And we called them out, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll come at 2. We're open at 9 o'clock in the morning." They must be really busy.
Yeah.
The guy comes about 3:30. He says, "Oh yeah, we just need these 2 pieces. I've got to go and price the other piece. I'll be back in a minute." Off he goes. Waiting. Got to about 4:45, so he thought, okay, ring him. And the other guy in this business answers, and he says, "Oh yeah, we haven't got that part. I'll have to come back tomorrow." They weren't even going to tell us. They just left it. We're going to freeze to death. They weren't going to tell us.
So, are you claiming on house insurance for this?
No, I don't know if it's covered.
What? It depends if you've got like emergency cover.
I don't do boiler insurance anymore because it was a scam. Because we had that and we were paying a lot for it, and when it broke down, they wouldn't fix it. Well, so we stopped doing it.
When we first moved in here, it had this old boiler and it kept cutting out. We had to keep relighting it, and the pressure had gone down and stuff like that. So we phoned the house insurance, and the house insurance said, "Yeah, you're covered on emergency cover. They won't if the boiler itself breaks." And needs replacing, they won't cover that. But if it needs a repair, we'll get someone out to come and do it, and you could have up to, I think it was up to £250 or £500 on the boiler.
Respect.
And they covered it.
I assume I'm not covered because then we've had. I mean, when we first moved in, we had a dodgy boiler.
Is this a combi boiler?
It is now.
Yeah.
That's another story. We had an open top tank when we moved in. It was like a cube. Bizarre thing. Yeah, so next day they came in and they said, okay, it's going to be 300 quid. And I said, okay, right, say yes, but only if they agree to do it now, today. They're not going to say, oh, tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. So they immediately appeared and did it and took 300 quid.
That was for the repair and the parts?
Yes. So that's not too bad.
I mean, that sounds about right.
I think that some sort of pump or motor or something was like 170 quid actually. So they probably stuck 100 on. Which is fair enough. I'm
sure we've had a call out charge is just 60 quid on its own sort of thing. So not too bad.
It didn't take them long, but still.
That's the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and I had the money in my wallet.
There you go, boys. And I like that. I like a bit of cash. Yeah. I haven't had a boiler break, but when I came back on Thursday from work, the house was cold. Yeah, same day. Weird.
Oh, right.
The house was cold, and I was like, this isn't right. Normally, I come home from work. I was a bit earlier than normal. Normally, when I come home from work, it's normally quite warm. So I think, so I'll go in, I'll turn the heating on, and it was really low. It was like at 15.5 degrees, the thermostat was saying. So the boiler kicked in, and it was, it was on, but it never felt like it was getting really, really warm. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? And the boiler was making a bit of a funny sound. It sounded like it was labouring a little bit, and it cut out. And I thought, it's not up to temperature. Why is it cut out, sort of thing? There's no red light on it or anything like that. There's no information to say anything's wrong. Oh, this is really strange, it says. And then the boiler come on, it sounded really quiet, and I thought, what the hell's going on there? I'll go outside and I'll check. There's actually condensation coming out the vent. I open the door, and there's like a
cloud.
No, a spray of water, like this. And I was like, shit.
Turn the water off.
And what it was is there's a tap
right
down below, a garden tap, and I've got like a manifold in it for four split manifold and a timer on there for automatically watering things. Yeah. And I'd put a hose into. That's right. We basically got some sediment in the water supply because there was a fire engine outside. They tapped in and they pulled up a load of sediment, whatever, and they just said run it off and it'll go. So I run a load of water into my water butt through a hose and just turned it off. I didn't turn the main tap off. I just turned the manifold off.
Right.
And because it had been so cold, it had frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously expanded the joint, and then when it warmed up again, shrank. It just went. So it'd been like that all day. And what it was is that's very close to the boiler. The water supply to the boiler was obviously really low pressure.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there.
Yeah.
I got told off for that.
Well, it could have been worse. If at least there wasn't a problem.
Yeah. Well, we're on a water meter. That's why I got told off.
Oh, really? Hell.
600 gallons in the garden.
I had the shower on to warm the bathroom because it was I have to get up early in the morning. It's 10 to 6 I get up. The only way I could do it with the heating off when it's -3 outside was I had to put an electric heater on the landing. I got up about 3:30 and put that on, and then got up at 10 to 6 and then put the shower on while I had a shave, and then had a shower, and then sort of ran back in and got dressed very quickly, and I could just about manage without freezing to death.
God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was frightening.
I don't know if I could have coped with that.
Yeah. We sent my kids. We sent the girls to my parents.
Oh well, yeah.
3 of us just sort of snuggled under blankets all night.
Ooh,
Yeah.
chilly.
It's my mum. My mum is a sensible one. You see, she said just go to Premier Inn.
Yeah, I think I
We
would.
were like, oh no, too much trouble. That makes perfect sense.
I would have done that, because I tell you what, last time we come back from holiday, the heating hadn't been on all day. And we got into, and then we put the heating on when we came back, but for some reason this house doesn't hold heat. Yeah, the bricks get cold, and it takes a day for it to warm up.
Oh, right.
I went to bed. We had the heating on full whack, and I was still through. My feet were freezing. I was ready to just give up the ghost. I was like, let's go.
Yeah,
let's just leave. I can't cope with this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Underfloor heating. When I win the lottery, I'm getting underfloor heating. Must be fantastic.
Yeah.
Walk around and your feet are warm.
Yeah, you got to have solid floors. Well, you haven't got to, but carpets are no good.
You on top, wouldn't you?
You can have it under wooden floors, sort of suspended floors, or floating floor. I think they put you get the insulation, you get the channels pre-carved in the insulation. The pipe goes round, but that doesn't transfer as much heat as if you run pipe through like a screed layer, so like a solid floor layer.
Yeah.
So tiles are really good for it. Concrete floors obviously really good for it. Sod floors are good for it. With wood, it's better than carpet, but if you put carpet on there, it's like a layer of insulation. It just doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
It will warm up, but it won't.
Yeah, but you're wasting it all underneath.
Yeah. So you got to decide whether you want solid floors if you want that. But every house I've ever been into with underfloor heating has been immense.
Actually, that's true. There's potentially a an interesting chat, which we're not doing today, but we could do at some point, is my dad is a classic car enthusiast of this particular bubble car, and they've built this museum, and it's like in the middle of nowhere in this village. I don't understand why, and they've spent so much money. It's got underfloor heating for the cars. Is this necessary?
Well, actually, Kev, I'm a bit of expert on underfloor heating because I've just done a website for someone who does underfloor heating. And basically, it's a lot more efficient.
Right.
Because you haven't got the constant through flow of water, so you're not heating as much water. You can heat it from any sort of energy source. So you can use an air source heat pump or whatever, or one that goes into a ground source heat pump. So you've got people, if they've got a bit of garden down, they run the pipes under the garden, and that's enough for their heating sort of thing.
I'll say so long term. It's actually right.
It's actually a lot.
Because you just got to leave it to keep the cars not freezing. Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And
that's just the stupidest chat.
Random things. The title of this video is Things.
Next week, cutting in. Get your paintbrush.